Yeah, guys. I think I'm better, like in a much better position. So yesterday I was running 2 degrees, so I think today I'm much better. But yeah, hopefully over the weekend I'll take more rest and get well. But yeah, hope today I'm in a decent condition to at least take the class. Okay, cool. So I think we can get started. Are the gym questions efficient? Okay, so I'll take your questions also alongside, right? And one good thing that has happened is, I can see the chats now alongside, so that's not a problem. Let me start sharing my screen. Give me 1 second. Okay, and guys, is the voice problem sorted for all of you? Like I like previously the voice was breaking for a large number of people, right? Is it better now by any chance? Sorted? Chalo, sahi hai, badhiya. Cool. I think that's fine. That's great, right? So, guys, and another thing that I wanted to tell you, and I think you all are new, like it has been just a couple of classes. So I think it's very right to be concerned on your end if suddenly somebody goes on break or somebody actually is unable to take classes. But rest assured, guys, the responsibility for module 1 is on me. And once I am back up in full form, I think next weekend we can take more extra classes, and I'll make sure that no compromise is left from my end, and we'll try to take extra classes provided you are also agreeing in that. And I think you will have to agree, because I think we are already lagging a couple of classes behind. But yeah, I don't want to compromise on the quality part, right? मैं ऐसा नहीं चाहता हूँ कि okay, I missed classes, so I just want to rush through it. I don't want to do that. I will take extra classes if needed. I will spoil your weekends if needed, but I want to make sure that all the content, is delivered in the best possible manner. Okay. So I think that you will have to somehow agree with me. Okay. This Saturday, Sunday, I would say no. If I feel better, I will take tomorrow. Otherwise, I am thinking of next Saturday, Sunday. Okay. Okay. Cool. I think we can get started, right? So where did we pause, or where did we actually leave in class number 2? So can anybody tell me what all we have covered till now? Typecasting. Okay. So I had shared certain articles with you all, right? So did you get a chance to actually read all those articles and, go through the resources that I have shared with you all? I think somebody was asking explicit typecasting. What if I want to, lose data willfully? So yeah, the articles are shared on Discord itself. Lakshay had basically shared the articles. So please make it a point that, you go through the articles once we have discussed the concepts in class, because, that will help you a lot. Okay. That will help you a lot in understanding and, making sure that you understand the things in a much more better way. Okay. Cool. So I think we can start with today's class without any further ado. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, guys, just give me 1 second. I think I'll have to. Just 1 second, guys. It's shared on Discord. It's shared on Discord, right? Okay. Is the screen visible? Typecasting? Yep. So this was the last topic that we had discussed, right? And in order to make you guys understand this, I had taken a very simple example, right? So let's say I'm writing system.out.println. Okay. I am using a short form SOP for system.out.println. Okay. And yeah, the agenda for today's class will be, I'm just writing here the agenda for today's class. I'll just pen it down here so that we can cover at least these. Okay. So these three are the major things that we will be covering today, right? Not audible. Voice is good. I think, guys, it's some problem from your end. So you can have a look at that, right? Okay. So I had given you a very, very simple idea to understand, typecasting. So let's say I give you a statement like this: system.out.println, the number is, okay. And let's say I add here 85. Okay. So now you will come and ask me, boss, here there is a string. Okay, there is a string. Guys, for the people whose voice is breaking, I think it's somewhat issue from your end, I feel, because many people are getting the voice clearly. So just have a look at your internet connection once. Okay, cool. So the number is, and then I put a plus sign and write 85, right? So have a look what was happening in this case, right? This was a string, right? This is a string. And I am basically adding 85, which is an integer. So this time I am performing an operation on two different data types, that is a string plus an integer, right? And what is basically happening in Java is whenever you are performing some operation on two different data types, okay, whenever you are performing an operation on two different data types, what happens? Can anybody tell me? Java will convert the less superior data type into the more superior data type and then give you the answer in the more superior data type. So what happens when you add a string with an int? What will happen? See, string is the more superior data type between string and int. So this integer will be converted or typecasted into string. Okay. So you will have a string 85 and then there is the number is. So then when you do addition of two strings, what is it? It is concatenation. Okay. So you get the output as the number is 85. This was an idea of an implicit typecasting. Why implicit? Because this happens automatically. You don't have to be explicitly, you don't have to explicitly tell the boss convert the integer into a string. This conversion happens implicitly, automatically. Okay. Yeah. We can write 85. Why not? Okay. Now, so this was the basic typecasting, right? Now I will ask you, can you tell me the output of these two statements? Uh, okay. So let's say A is 5, B is 20. Let's say A is 5, B is 20. Okay. The sum is 520. Agreed, guys. Agreed. The sum is 520, right? Okay. Cool. I think everyone agrees, right? String plus int plus int. Okay. So the integer will be typecasted into string and then your final answer will be in a string. Okay. So the output will be the sum is 520. Okay. But let's say I give you a statement like this. SOP. Can anybody help me? I'm interested in this one. How many of you think you will still get a 520 or you will get a 25? Now this time you will see that you get 25 is the sum. Okay. All of you have the compiler, right? Everyone has access to online compilers. So type these two statements, okay, and see the difference for yourselves. What is happening? Like, what is the difference between these two statements? Can anybody explain me what is the difference? Yes. So Vinod Kumar has pointed very rightly. Okay. Left to right. So we are evaluating the expression from left to right. Okay. Voice is breaking. I don't think voice is breaking. You can check your connection at your end. Okay. So we actually evaluate expressions from left to right, right? So see what is happening. When I evaluate this expression, what is the first thing that you are evaluating? A plus B. What is A? A is an integer. What is B? B is an integer. What is int plus int? What is int plus int? Int plus int will be int, right? Int plus int will be int. So I get 25. I get 25 plus. Then you will get is the sum. Okay. Now what will happen? Again, this is an integer. Okay. And this is a string. Now what will happen? Int plus string. So there are two different data types. So now there will be a typecasting happening. So the int will be converted to a string and then you will get the answer as 25 is the sum. Okay. Now guys, tell me how many of you are clear in these two examples? Shikhar, string plus int will be string only, right? Because that is how it is built inside Java. String is a non-primitive data type, right? So it is more superior as compared to int. Okay. Not clear once again. Okay. See what I am telling you in this statement. Okay, look at this line. System.out.println, the sum is A plus B. What is happening? The expression is evaluated from the left hand side. So what will be evaluated first? The sum is plus A. This thing will be evaluated first, right? What is this? This is a string, okay? And this is an integer. So a string plus integer. So what will happen? This integer will be converted into a string, okay? So then the output will become the sum is 5, okay? And then this entire string will be concatenated with B, okay? But when I am doing A plus B plus is the sum, what is happening? This is an integer, this is an integer. So when you do this computation first, right? A plus B, int plus int, integer plus integer is always an integer. So you will get 25 here. Then you will do 25 plus this string. So int plus string, this int will get typecasted into a string and you will get the output as 25 is the sum. Tell me guys, how many of you are clear? No, it's not the same for Java, C++ and Python. See, 25 is int, right? But when you do a int plus string, then this 25 will be converted into a string and then the concatenation will happen. Okay, cool. So this was about, typecasting. Okay, this was about typecasting. Try to, write these two statements on the compiler on your own. Okay, yeah, if you are putting brackets, then to we saw na brackets is like the most priority. So first of all, you will evaluate this expression only. Okay, cool. Now let's come to something more interesting, right? Okay. And guys, we have also talked about mathematical operators, right? I think I have discussed plus, minus, into, divide. Okay. And I had asked you guys to explore certain operations around these, right? Plus, minus, into, divide, modulo, and see that you are clear with all these basic ideas of all these operators, right? Now, what I want you guys to understand is we will be talking about some other kind of operators, right? Which is very important. So I'll start with relational operators. Can we data type after typecasting? How? Why not? No. See, Kirti, what happens is, there are two parts to any expression, right? There is a left-hand side, there is an, assignment operator, and then there is a right-hand side, okay? So this right-hand side expression is evaluated. Try to understand. This right-hand side expression is evaluated and then assigned on the left-hand side, okay? But how is this evaluated? In this direction only. Are you getting the difference? Left to right, right to left, there are two different things that we are talking about. When you look at any statement now with the assignment operator, the right-hand side expression is evaluated and then the assignment is done on the left-hand side. Okay. But how is this right-hand side expression evaluated? In this direction. Okay. Cool. Now let's come to relational operators. Let's come to relational operators. Okay. So in mathematics, okay, what are relational operators? Relational operators are basically operators that help me to determine the relationship between two elements, right? I want to know the relationship between two elements. Relationship operators will help me to determine that. Now, what are relationship operators? These are very simple things, guys. So I think we'll, do a little fast over here. Okay. So what are examples of relational operators? Less than, okay, greater than, less than equal to. See, in maths, we have seen less than equal to like this. This was less than equal to in maths. In computer, less than equal to is like this. Okay. Greater than equal to. Okay. Double equals. What is double equal? Checking for equality. Double equals means you are checking for equality. What is the meaning of single equal to, guys? Can anybody tell me? What is the meaning of single equal to? Correct. Single equal to is the assignment operator. Okay, it just assigns the value from the right hand side into the variable that is present on its left hand side. So when you write a statement like a is equal to 5, now I am not checking if a is equal to 5. I am taking the value 5 and assigning it to the variable a. This is the assignment operator. Okay. So less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, and you have not equal to. Okay. So these are some of the relational operators, and using these relational operators, you can basically, establish a relationship between your two elements. Yeah, comparison. Yeah, you can think of it that you are using these operators to compare something, right? You are getting some idea. Okay. String, correct, Vinod, correct. Okay. So now if I ask you one thing, tell me guys, if I have written 8 is greater than 9, am I saying correct or am I saying like in a wrong way? 8 is not greater than 9, right? I think we are all clear on this. This is definitely wrong. So I tell you one very interesting part, right? So whenever you are using relational operators, you always get a boolean as output. मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं कि guys, whenever you use any relational operator, your output will be a boolean. Okay. What's the question? A second. On first day there were 850. Where are other? Okay. So yeah, Rajat, I think the drop down happens like this only. We have seen across batches, right? So some people move to recording, some people then they are unable to catch up with the class pace, or like it happens, right? So it's student mentality at the end of the day. So it happens, right? Some people skip to recording, some people, I think most people prefer watching recordings later on. But yeah, I think good. You come to the live classes or you attend, the recordings. I am fine with both. At the end of the day, we have to learn. Okay. Okay. So do you all agree that the output of any, the output of any relational operator will be a boolean? So if I tell you, boss, 8 is lesser than equal to 9, this is definitely correct, right? Because 8 is less than equal to 9. So whenever you use any relational operator, the output will be a boolean. So this is giving me the output of false, and this is giving me the output of true. Okay. So one thing that we all have to understand, the output of any relational operator is a boolean. That is, either it will be true or it will be false. Okay. Now, tell me this. Is it true or is it false? It's true, right? It's true. Okay. So, does anyone have any doubts in these relational operators? I think they are pretty basic. Okay. Relational operators. Okay. So now, if you are clear with these relational operators, like you might be getting a question in your mind, ki, sir, you have told us relational operators, but how will be using relational operators? Where is the use? आप खाली पढ़ा रहे हो, कुछ practical usage भी बताओ, right? So now we will understand where are these relational operators actually coming into picture. And now we come to one very important part of programming, which is conditionals. Okay. Do we have to make any notes? It's up to you. It's up to you. Manish, 8 not equal to 9 is true. Explain. Manish, tell me, is 8 and 9 same? Are 8 and 9 same? I am telling you, boss, 8 is not equal to 9. मैं तुमको बोल रहा हूँ 8 9 के बराबर नहीं है. So I am telling the truth ना. That's why it's true. Okay. Okay. Cool. So let's come to conditionals. Difference between less than and less than equal to. I think it makes it clear, right? See, if you ask me 8 less than 8, this is false. But if I tell you 8 less than equal to 8, it is true. Okay. See, if you want to make notes, you guys can, but I think you will get the PPT. Lakshay uploads the PPT also. So you can refer to there. You have the recording. So it's up to person, right? Okay. So now let's come to conditionals. So if you guys remember my first lecture, if you guys remember lecture number 1, what is conditionals a part of? What is conditionals a part of? Can anybody recall? Can anybody recall? I had discussed some important components of a computer program, control flow, right? So using conditionals, I can control the flow of execution of my code. I can make certain decisions. Okay. So first of all, let me tell you, why do you even want to make decisions? Okay. Why do you even want to make decisions? So, I think if you look at normal day-to-day lives, right, we all take decisions based on, some activity or the other, right? So let's take my practical example, right? So yesterday I was running a temperature of 2 degrees. So based on that condition, I basically took a decision that, boss, I put the thermometer in my mouth, and if my temperature is greater than, let's say, 2 degrees, I won't be taking the class, else I will be taking the class. Okay. So today my condition was a little bit better. So I decided to come and interact with you guys so that you guys have content over the weekend, right? So based on your life, right, based on the life that you are living, all of you will be required to take certain decisions at some point of time or the other, right? You will evaluate certain condition and then you will take a decision. Okay. Now, let's say that you have gone to the supermarket. Okay. You have gone to the grocery store and your mother tells you, ki, hey, Adarsh, just look at the store. If there is a discount of, let's say, greater than 20%, you buy whatever you want. But if there is a discount less than 20%, please be a little, cautious in spending and buying whatever you want. So I will go to the supermarket and what I will see, first of all, I will check the discount available. If the discount is greater than 20%, it's my lucky day and I get to purchase whatever I want. But if the discount is lesser than 20%, I will probably not be able to buy whatever I want. So what I want you guys to understand is, based on different conditions, we react differently. So whenever you are writing code, right, you are wanting to solve some real life problems. Okay. So you might want to take certain decisions in your code as well. Ki, boss, if this is happening, I will do this. If this is happening, I will do this. Something like this. So that is where we come to the concept of conditionals. Okay. So if I give you a very plain, simple idea, it might be as simple as this. See, I am not writing code, right? I'm just telling you, ki, if chances of rain greater than 95%, okay, then I'm just writing plain English. If the chances of rain is greater than 19%, then I will take umbrella. Okay. Else I will not take. Okay. These are some of the decisions that we all take in our day-to-day life. So with conditionals, we will get this, control inside our program. So let's have a look at what are some of the important parts of a conditionals. Okay. And just remind me, guys, if we have time towards the end, I will just briefly touch upon this. Triple equals. Triple equals, you don't have to worry about at this point of time. Okay. It's not there in, like, we'll not be using it. Okay. So even I have to check it up. I haven't used it very frequently. So don't worry about that, right? Some people don't add the brackets. Okay. If it's a single line, then, you can. Okay. Yeah, it's not in Java. That's what I was also thinking because I have not used it. JavaScript, correct. Okay. Yeah, triple equals is not there in Java. At least I have not used it. Okay. So what are the things that we are going to learn in conditionals? Okay. So the first construct that we will be studying is the if. Okay. If. Now, how does the if condition work? So I'll first tell you the basic, programming construct, and then we'll take some examples also to understand it. So I write something like this. If, then within parentheses, I am telling you the best way to do it and the standard practice, right? So I write an if, then within brackets, I will write a condition, whatever condition is there, right? If within parentheses, I write the condition, and then I will put curly braces. Okay. And then I will write whatever code I want to execute. So how does it work? How does it work? First of all, see, when I've written a block of code like this, and let's say outside your if, you have written some more lines. Okay. Now, what I want you guys to understand it, how does this work? So let's say this is my first line. Okay. I come here. I first of all check the condition. Okay. So if my condition evaluates to be true, ध्यान से सुनो मेरे बात को, ठीक है? If my condition evaluates to be true, if this condition evaluates to be true, then you will enter inside the if block and you will execute all these lines of code. Okay. But if the condition evaluates to be false, then you will not enter inside the if block. Okay. So let's say I'm telling this is line number A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. And this is line G, H, I, J. KL. Okay. Now guys, tell me, if the condition evaluates to be false, then I will not enter inside the if block. See, you think of it, you are a person, right? And this condition is a guard. Okay. So if the condition evaluates to be true, then think of it like you are given the access, you are given the gate pass, and you enter inside the if block and execute these lines of code. Then come outside, execute GHIJKL. But if the condition evaluates to be false, that is, you are blocked by this condition. You cannot enter inside the if block. So I will not enter inside the if block. I will simply come here and then I will execute GHIJKL. Is this making sense, guys? Okay, I'll just take a quick water break for 2 minutes. I've spoken too much. Are you guys able to understand the flow? I think. How do you negate a condition? Sab bataunga. And yeah, I am. It's basically, I think, most of it should be covered in the doubts also. I'm pretty sure they should have moved ahead. How to make logic strong? So for making logic strong, Adil, one thing will be there. You just have to practice a lot of problems. Like the more number of problems that you solve, the more understanding and clarity you will be gaining, and the more better your logical thinking actually starts improving. Okay. So let's take an example. Let's take an example, right? Let's take an example. Okay. So, acha guys, and this condition, do you all agree that this condition should always evaluate to a true or false? Then only you will be able to take a decision of whether I can enter inside or I cannot enter. Can you tell me? Boss, the condition should always, evaluate to a true or false. Otherwise, how will you ensure whether you want to enter or not? This condition should either be a true or a false. Then only you can take a decision. So can anybody tell me what kind of operators you can consider using in these conditions? What kind of operators? What kind of operators can find its way inside these conditions? Relational operators. Yes, relational operators. Great. So logical will also be there. I will tell you. Don't worry. Okay. So let's say you have somebody's age, right? Age. Let's say age is equals to 20. And I want to see that, boss, if my age is greater than 18, I want to print that you are an adult. So I can write a statement like this. If age is greater than 18, system.out.println adult. Okay. Do you understand this part? Do you understand this part? It's a very, very simple idea of a if block, right? So if my age is greater than 18, you will enter inside the if block and you will print adult. But if the age is, let's say, lesser than or equal to 18, okay, if the age is lesser than or equal to 18, then you will not enter inside the if block and you will not print adult. Okay. See, Hemant, this brackets, okay, if you have a single statement, you can avoid using that. Okay. But I would say prefer using brackets. Always use these curly braces. Okay. Now, so this is the basic if condition, right? How do you use this? If relational is nothing, you are basically establishing some sort of relation, some sort of comparison. That's it. Okay. Now, so the simple idea of if is, if you write a condition and then within these parentheses or within these curly braces, you write whatever you have to write. When to put semicolon? Whenever you have written one statement completely, you will put a semicolon. Okay. This is if. Now, after if, I will talk about if else. Now, let's say I modify my code. Outside of this if, I write SOP, not an adult. Okay. Now, can you tell me if I give the value of age as 16? Okay. Or let's say if I give the value of age as 20, what will be the output? Both will get printed, right? Everyone agrees? Now, if I've written a code like this, then both will be printed. And this is something that I don't need, right? This is something that I don't want. Okay. Now. So how do I solve this? So this time I introduce a new keyword to you, which is else. Okay. So what do I say? Boss, you can have something like this. If condition, whatever condition you have, right? If the condition is true, you enter here, do whatever you want. Okay. Else you will enter here and execute these lines of code. Now, what does it actually mean? If the condition evaluates to be true, then you will enter and execute these lines of code. And if the condition is evaluated to be false, then you will enter the else block and you will execute these lines of code. So can I tell you one thing? Boss, either if block will get executed or your else block will get executed. Both blocks cannot get executed. Can I tell you this? Can I tell you this? Both blocks will never get executed. Boss, मैं बोल रहा हूं, if the condition is true, do this. Else. If the condition is not true, then you do this. Okay. So any one of the if or the else part will get executed. If the condition is true, the if block gets executed. And if the condition is false, the else part gets executed. Correct. Okay. So now what I could have done? I could have done something like this. If age is greater than equal to 18, okay, SOP, adult, okay, else, if age is less than 18. See guys, when will I come inside the else block? Soch ke dekho. If my age is greater than or equal to 18, I enter inside the if block. So when will I come inside the else block? I am coming inside the else block if this condition is false, right? And when will this condition be false? When the age is lesser than 18. So inside the else block, simply print SOP, not adult. Now my problem is solved, right? Either the person will be adult or the person will not be an adult. Both cannot happen at the same point of time, right? Is this making sense, guys? If else. Acha, now I will ask you a question. I'll ask you a very logical question. Do you think only this makes sense? तुम लोग खुद ही बता दोगे ये तो. Do you think an else alone makes sense? Never, right? As most of you are saying, no. Because भैया कुछ if होगा तभी ना else होगा. What is else telling? If that doesn't happen, then do this. So some condition has to be there. With that only there will be an else condition, na? ऐसे थोड़ी होगा else. What else, boss? There should be an if. If the condition is not satisfied, then you come to the else part. So one very important thing is independent else. Does not make sense, right? See, your mom will come and tell you, hey, if you study, I will give you chocolate. Okay. Else I will not give you chocolate. Okay. So, and let's say that you hear the statement, मैं तुम्हें chocolate नहीं दूंगी. Else I will not give you chocolate. You will ask, when will you give me chocolate? Okay. So basically the idea is, I don't know, I have used a very bad example maybe, but yeah, if alone makes sense, right? See, there is no one coming and telling that, boss, every if needs to be associated with an else. You can write if alone also, no problem. You can put another if, no problem. You can put another if, no problem. I don't have a problem with that, right? But what I am telling you, an else cannot exist independently. And else will always be coupled with an if. And else will always be associated with an if. Do you all agree with me? Else हमेशा if के साथ associate होगा. Right? Okay. Now, now, tell me this. I am just writing small lines. Okay. So, let's say, Acha, first of all, tell me, what do you think this else will get associated with? Which if? Condition 1 or condition 2? Condition 2, right? Dekho guys, the rule is that else gets associated with its nearest if. Else gets associated with its nearest if. Okay. So let's say I call this block as A, just label kar raha hu. Call this block as B and call this block as C, just for your understanding. So if condition 1 and condition 2 both are true, na, then block A and block B will run. Do you agree? If condition 1 and 2 both are true, then block A and block B will run. Okay. Now let's say condition 1 is false and condition 2 is also false. Then what will run? Only block C will run. Do you agree? Okay. So boss, see, condition 2 के लिए ये else है. If condition 2 is true, block B will run, else block C will run. But this condition 1 does not have an else associated. Okay. So this else is associated with this if, the nearest if. Else is associated with the nearest if. Okay. I'll solve a couple of problems also with you all so that everyone is clear. But yeah, I think. Correct. Can you please repeat the else block part again? See, what I am telling you is, if I have written a statement like this, if condition 1, this is the, block. Okay. If condition 2, this is the block. Else, this is the block. So what I am telling you, else gets associated with the nearest if, right? So what if first is true and not the second? Okay. So let's say if condition 1 is true and condition 2 is not true. Okay. Condition 1 is true and condition 2 is not true. Okay. So सबसे पहले क्या होगा? My code comes here. If condition 1 is true. So I will enter here, execute all these lines of code. So block number A will get executed. Okay. Then I come here. If I check condition 2, is condition 2 true? No, condition 2 is not true. So I will see that there is an else associated. So I will go to the else part and enter and execute these lines of code. So block number A and block number C get executed. Is this making sense? Okay. And see guys, there is no limit to experimenting, right? You can put, you can also have structures like this. If सब बताऊंगा. If both are true, then block A and block B will get executed. Can you tell me, guys, looking at the structure, when will alpha get executed? When will alpha get executed? Achha, what have I done? I have put one if inside another if. See, there is this if condition, and inside this if block, I have put another if. Do you know what this is called? This is called nesting. Nesting. एक के अंदर एक डाल दिया. Nested. I have put one if inside another if. So first of all, you are standing here. So first of all, this guy has to give you clearance. So condition 1 should be true. Condition 1 is true, you come here. Then you will again check condition 2. If this is also true, then only you will reach here. So condition 1 and 2 both should be true. Then only you will execute the alpha lines of code. Do you all agree? Yes? Okay, cool. So this was about, if else, if and if else. Okay. Yeah, I'll take examples. Okay. So let's say I basically want to write a code. Okay. So okay. So let's say I want to write a code. I will take input of the age. Okay. If the person is lesser than 18, just simply tell him, boss, you are not an adult. Okay. If the person is greater than 18, okay, then you will see that if the person is lesser than 30, okay, let's take an example. So I will take the age of a person, right? And I have to do something like this. If the age is less than 18, I will say you are a kid. Okay, you are a kid. Okay. If the age is, let's say, greater than 18, okay, I will say you are an adult. Okay. But I will also check here. If the age is lesser than 25, na, I will say enjoy. Yeah, let's say you are a student till now. Okay. And if I see that the age is greater than 25, I will say work. Okay. You are getting, I think I am just framing things from my mind, so it might not look that good, but I think you understand. So if age is lesser than 18, I will simply tell boss you are a kid. Okay. If the age is greater than 18, then I will check. If the age is lesser than, let's say 22 kar dete hain isko. Let's say lesser than 22, I will say you are a student. Okay. And if it is greater than 22, I will say, okay, you are a working professional. Why did they change timing? Okay. फ्लो चार्ट चलो ले लो यार, फ्लो चार्ट ले लो, नो इश्यूज. मुझे मैं ऐसे ही बना रहा हूँ फॉर योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. एज ओके, लेट्स से लेसर देन 18, just print kid. Okay. Greater than equal to 18, adult. Okay, is this making sense? Is this making sense? Yes, I have to code this up. I have to code this up. Okay. Now let's try to, let's try. See. So basically, I'll assume that you have age. I'll assume you have age, right? And I'll try to write the code, okay, on the PPT itself. And let's see how much it is clear, right? So I have planned on a couple of questions also. So once we are done with the content, we can take up questions also. Don't worry. Okay. So now what I want to do, and see guys, with today's class, my sole intention was that over the weekend, now you can solve those conditional assignments, right? Because now it is, your logical thinking, your hard work, your effort, right? Because theoretically, you know everything, then you just need to go and, try to solve the problems. Assignments are more difficult. It's actually not difficult, I will say, but I would say it takes time to get started, right? If you actually look at the solutions, you will see that they are pretty simple, not that difficult. Okay. So what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? If age is lesser than 18, let's say if age is lesser than 18, okay, can I simply say SOP, kid? Okay. Now I'll write an else part. Now when I will come in the else part, when will I come to the else part? When the age is greater than equal to 18. So सबसे पहले print कर देते हैं SOP, adult. Okay. Now tell me guys, I have come to the else part only if age is greater than or equal to 18. Okay. So I know that age is greater than equal to 18. So I have printed adult. But now I need to check. So again, I will introduce a check. If age is lesser than equal to 22, what do I need to print? I will print you are a student. Okay. Else. Now when I will come to this else part, when age is greater than 22, so I will print else, SOP, work. Okay. How many of you are clear with what I have tried to do? Yes. Okay, so we are all clear with this. Now let's quickly touch upon a couple of other concepts and then we'll take a problem and you will only code that up fully. Okay, cool. Now one last construct that I will talk about. हाँ, else के अंदर भी डाल सकते हो. See guys, nobody is telling you where you can put an if or where you cannot put an if. Wherever you want, you can actually put, right? Just it should be logical. Okay. Why not? Why not? Inside the else I have printed and then I have again put an if else block. No problem in that, right? So adult will get printed and either student or work will get printed. Okay. Cool. So now I'll discuss something about if, else if, else if, else ladder. Okay. If, else if, else if, else ladder. So how does this work? Let me take an example. If I am writing C1, it means condition 1, right? So I'll give you an example to make you guys understand this, right? If C1, okay, let's say do something. Else if, C2. Okay. Else if okay. Now, what is this? See, I have written an if, else if kind of a structure. So how does it actually work? So whenever you see an if, else if, else kind of a ladder, right? I call this as a ladder. Why do I call it a ladder? Because only one of these blocks will get executed. Only one of these blocks will get executed. So how does this work? I start from here. I check condition 1. Okay. Let's say condition 1 is false. Condition 1 is not true. So I come to else if. Okay. देखो guys, इसको समझने का try करो verbally. Okay. If ये do this. Else if मतलब if C1 is not true, I will check. I will come here. Else if C2, I will check C2. Is C2 true? If C2 is true, you know what will happen? You will execute all these lines of code and then no other blocks will be checked. It will just be a fall through. It will be a fall through. So whenever you have an if, else if kind of a ladder, the moment you see that a condition becomes true, that block will get executed and no other blocks will get executed even if the conditions are true. Let me take an example. Can you guys write this code? Can you guys write this code and tell me what is the output? Let's make it something different. Anything, right? Star kind of thing. Okay. So what I want you guys to understand is, see, this condition 8 greater than equal to 8 is true, right? So the moment you see that this condition is true, you will enter inside this if block, print hello, and then no other conditions will be checked. See, this is also true. This is also true, but all these will not be checked. They will be skipped and you will come outside this ladder and then execute the lines of the code that you have after the ladder. Okay. So why do we call it a ladder? Because only one of the blocks out of if, else if will get executed. Okay. So if I say C1 and C2 are false and C3 and C4 are true, which block will get executed, guys? 1 and 2 are false, 3 and 4 are true. Which block do you think will get executed? Only 3, right? Because once 3 is executed, it will just do a fall down and it will not even check 4 and execute that, right? So this is the basic idea of an if, else if kind of a structure. Okay. And similarly, I think all of you agree that else if cannot make sense without an if. Only else if doesn't make any sense, right? Else if also needs to be associated with an if. Okay. Now tell me one thing. Yeah, I'll take one logical example. So now tell me one thing. If all the conditions are false, no, else is not mandatory, Akhil. That is what I showed you, right? If all the conditions are false, nothing will get executed. Do you agree? If all the conditions are false, C1, C2, C3, C4, nothing will get executed, right? So in those cases, let's say I want to also write for that. Boss, if all the conditions are false, I want you to do something. So I can put an else at the end. If C1 is true, do this. Else if C2 is true, do this. Else if C3 is true, do this. Else if C4 is true, do this. Else, if all of these conditions are false, then I will come to the else part and I will execute the block written inside the, else block. Okay. So else is like, optional. You can put it, you might choose to skip as well, right? So this is the basic idea of an if, else ladder. The main important point for you to understand is, in case of an if, else ladder, only one of the blocks will run. Only one of the blocks. You cannot have more than one block running in, this kind of a structure. Is the basic idea making sense, guys? Right? Okay. So now I will give you a question. I will give you a question. And with this question, we will try to, understand what is happening. So I give you a question. Okay. I give you a question. Boss, take two numbers input from the user. Okay. You will take two numbers, num1 and num2 input from the user. Okay. Num1 and num2 input from the user. Okay. Let's make it a little bit more simpler. So you have taken the two numbers, num1 and num2 input from the user, and you will take a third number input. Okay, let me call it as op code. You will take a third number input from the user. Okay, and you have to design a custom calculator for the user. And what is the calculator looking like? Let's say, see, these two numbers will be my operands on which I perform the operations, right? So let's say user has entered first number as 50, the second number as 15. Okay. And then you will ask the user to enter an opcode, right? And what are the valid opcodes? Okay, this will also be taken from the user. This is again an integer only. Okay. So if the user enters 0, okay, you will basically add the two numbers and give him the answer. If the user gives you 1 for opcode, you will subtract. If the user gives you 2 from the opcode, then you will multiply. If user gives you 3 for opcode, this is just another variable. Okay, this is just another opcode means operation code. Okay, this is just another variable which you will take input from the user in order to decide what you want to do. Okay, so if the number is 2, then you have to do multiplication. If the opcode input is 3 from the user, you have to do a division. And if the user enters anything apart from these, you will tell you are having fever. Okay, you are having fever. Please read manual. Okay, how many of you are clear with the question? I'll code this up entirely. How many of you are clear with the question? क्या करना है? Not clear. Okay. So what I am asking you is, you will take two numbers input from the user. Okay. You have taken two numbers input from the user. User has supplied you two numbers. Okay. And then the user will give you another number. Okay. If that number is 0, you will add these two numbers and return the answer. Okay. If the third number is 1, then you will do a subtraction. If the third number is 2, you will do, let's say, a multiplication. If the third number is 3, you will do a division. And if the user is giving you something else as the third number, you will say, I don't know what to do. I don't know what is switch case at this point of time. So I don't know. I have not taught you switch case. So I'll expect that you don't use a switch case. Okay. So can you try to write the code for this? Array, think of the op code as this is another variable. This is another input that the user will give you. 0 stands for addition. 1 stands for subtraction. 2 stands for multiplication. 3 stands for division. Anything else stands for I don't know what to do. How do we return a number? No, just have to print the output. Just have to print the output. I'll give you 2 minutes and then we'll code this up. Okay. So let's do this, right? Let's do this. कोड करते हैं, I think उसके बाद ज्यादा क्लियर होगा. Just give me 1 sec. Okay, let me code it up and then you'll be able to better understand. Okay, let's try. Okay, so I'll start at 9 o'clock, right? So I think I'll also get a break of 4 minutes. Okay, so try to code it up. I'll just give you a, nothing like this. I'm just writing this thing so everyone will. नहीं मैं लॉजिक नहीं लिख रहा हूँ, मैं बस I'm just giving you what your that thing should look like. सब लोग एक बार ये खुद से करो. Okay, this is the format. Now I'll also get some rest of 2 minutes. So yeah, just try this out. जो यूज करना है करो, स्कैनर यूज करना है कर सकते हो बिल्कुल. इफ यू हैव टू टेक इनपुट्स यू हैव टू यूज, राइट? So yeah, we'll start discussing at 9 o'clock. SK, there is a little bit problem here. You are not tackling the case of, when the opcode is wrong. Okay, how many of you have been able to do this? Pretty simple. Doing. Okay, let's take 2 more minutes. Okay, cool. Chalo, theek hai. So let's get started. Let's do it. So we have to use a scanner, and you know that. So is the font size clear to all? Font size is fine, right? Okay. Now, util dot star. Okay. Now let's make a scanner first. क्या हो गया भाई, क्या हो गया सर? टाइम जाया हो रही है. What happened, man? There is this buffered, the buffered scanner is there, like the buffered stream, buffered input reader. But yeah, I think scanner is more simpler, so we prefer that. Okay. Okay. Let's just follow along, right? No, scanner S, you can give your scanner any name that you want, right? So enter first number, right? And let's say I'm waiting. Int num1 is equal to sc dot next int. We know how to take an integer as input, right? Then enter second number. Okay. Int num2 is equal to sc dot next int. Okay. Now you have taken the two numbers as input, right? Now what do you want to do? Nah, I know Zaya, but yeah, if you are finding it easy, what you can do is just maybe stay updated with the assignments and try to solve other questions. Okay. Okay. Itna slow class hoga kya? Okay. So Ritik, I don't know about the individual class space and all, but yeah, I think at the end of module 1, we will finish everything that we have promised in module 1. Now, if it is fast or slow, that is individuals for individuals to decide. You might you might feel it to be slow, someone else might feel to be fast, and this is all relative, right? So matlab ye wo hota hai. So if somebody is finding it slow or easy, I think it's you can solve some more problems. So just DM me, I can share more problems with you. That is, I think, something which we all can do. Okay. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. And enter the op that you want to perform. Okay. Now what I will do, I'll also take an op. Int op is equal to sc dot next int. Now see guys, I have taken the input for the numbers and the operation. Okay. Now what I want to do, I will check on the operation. Okay. So what will I check? If op equal to 0, that means you have to perform a addition. So println a plus b. Okay. और num1 plus num2, इसको a भी कर लेते हैं. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Acha. Now guys, tell me, should I write another if block, or see, technically you can write because op will be either 0 or 1 or 2. It cannot be that op is 0 and 1 at the same point of time. You can write more ifs also, but I will prefer an else if. Else if op equal to 1, just maybe, you know, perform a subtraction, a minus b. Okay. Else if op equal to 2. Okay, let's say you are just performing a multiplication. Okay. Else if op equal to 4, let's say you are performing division. Okay. Now, if these 4 conditions are not true, I will enter the else part. And what will I check? I will tell you have fever, go and read manual. Okay. That's it. And okay. Now. So can you tell me guys, will this line always be printed? Will this line always be printed? Okay, great. Okay. So let's try to run this and see if it's working fine as we had desired it. Okay, enter first number. So let's say I enter 25. Enter second number. Let's say I enter 50. Enter the op that you want to perform 0, 75. Okay. No, it's not to a SOP after else. Else में एक ही SOP. I have written one system.out.println at the end to show you that this line will always get executed, right? Okay. And let's say you try something else. So just write println and hit tab. Okay, that gets auto completed. So 25, then let's say 40. And my opcode is, I don't know opcodes here, but let's say enter 34. You have fever, go and read the manual. Okay. So is everyone clear with how this program is working? Pretty basic program. And I think this should clear all your doubts about conditionals. How are ifs working, if else, and all these things, right? Very basic. Okay. Character input de dijiye. The reason why I didn't took a character input because I haven't taught you guys how to take an input of a character. That's why I specifically refrained from using a character and I took an integer only as input. Okay. Try 1. Chalo bhai 1 bhi try kar lete hain. Why have I written SOP here? Because I wanted to print na enter first number. If you want to write it here, you can write it here also. Okay, I want to print to the screen, enter first number. User ko dikhana hai. Boss, enter first number. That's it. Okay. When will main DSAs be starting? So we will be doing sorting and recursion in this module. If by main DSA you mean that. And from module 2, you have linked lists and all those coming into picture. Okay. Okay. So multiplication ho gaya. Okay. Cool, guys. So I think we just stop here, right? And is this making sense? Explain output. Nothing. See, enter first number was printed. Enter second number was printed. See, enter first number was printed, right? And then see what was happening. I inputted one number that got stored in A. Then printed enter second number. Okay. Then I entered the second number. It got stored in B. Then I said enter the op that you want to perform. Entered the operation code that got stored in OP. Then it is nothing, right? It's just doing an if else. Match happened at 2. A into B, that is 250 was printed. I came outside this if else block. printed end of the calculator program. If else. I think all are okay. It depends. Okay. Y double equals. Okay. Can any one of you only tell me y double equals and y not single equal? भाई बता दिया ये y double equal y not single equal. Told you this earlier. Okay. I am comparing. I am not assigning. Single equals is assigning. Okay. Now, I'll take a couple of questions from the portal as well. Okay. But let's just quickly do one more thing here. Okay. Now you can even, club multiple conditions together. I will not be taking all modules. Okay. So you can now club multiple conditions together. Okay. So let's say I want to do something like this. Ki boss, if the age is greater than 18 and less than 25, okay, I want to print something. Basically, I want to club multiple conditions together. I want to group multiple conditions together. So here we come to the concept of logical operators. Okay. See guys, where did that statement go? This one. See, when was this block executed? When condition 1 and condition 2 both were true. Okay. I am grouping both of these conditions. Ki boss, condition 1 should also be true. Condition 2 should also be true. Okay. If both the conditions are true, then only this block will run. Otherwise, it will not run. Right. So, long story short, you can put multiple conditions together using logical operators. So we'll talk about logical operators. And what are the three logical operators that we talk about? We talk about the logical and, we talk about the logical or, we talk about logical not. Okay, these are the three logical operators that we will be talking about. Okay. Now, I am not sure how many of you have done this earlier or not, but पता नहीं कितने लोगों ने मैथ्स में किया है. Have you seen these gates or I don't know Boolean algebra? True or true is true, true and false is false. Okay, so it basically follows that property only, right? So what do I mean when I say this, right? Basically, these operators can be used to group multiple conditions. Okay, so let's say I am grouping the conditions via logical and. Okay, I am talking about the logical and. Okay. So it basically works something like this. Let's say you have a condition 1 and a condition 2. Okay. So if both the conditions are true, then your final output will be true. If any one of the condition is false, listen to me very carefully. If any one of the condition is false, then the output will be false. Okay. So I can write something like this. If age is greater than 18 and age is lesser than 25. So both these conditions, see, this is condition 1 and this is condition 2. If both the conditions are true, then only this entire expression will be true and you will be permitted to, come inside and execute these lines of code. So can I say, guys, the alternative to this structure could be if condition 1 and condition 2. Can I say? I could have written something like this here. If condition 1 and condition 2. Is it not giving me the same idea? If both the conditions are true, then only I will enter and I will, print it. Yeah, you can extend the same idea for more than 2 conditions also. I'm just giving you a brief basic idea. Okay. How to use question mark? That comes in ternary operator. बताऊंगा. Okay. So this is my logical. No, break is not associated with if conditions. Break and continue are associated with loops. Okay. So this is your logical and. Okay. What is logical and? If both the conditions are true, then only the output will be true. If any one of the condition is false, the output will be false. As simple as that. Okay. Now let's talk about logical or. I think I'm running out of space. Let me just add a couple of slides. Achha guys, how is your doubt sessions going? I just wanted to ask you guys, how are the doubt sessions going? Good. Okay. Good. Okay, cool. Yeah, so do attend the doubt sessions also. I definitely, you'll be able to learn more things. Not good. क्या problem है भाई? Okay. अच्छा guys, जिन लोग को एक काम करो, I think some of you have a concern कि you are finding it very simple and you are able to understand. एक काम करो, आज के क्लास के बाद ना मेरे को डीएम कर दो एक बार डिस्कॉर्ड पे, राइट? सो एवरीवन हु इज फाइंडिंग द पेस टू बी वेरी स्लो, और लेट्स से सी, बट देन प्लीज take responsibility and DM on Discord, right? Just DM me or ping me on Discord ki, hey, I have done all the assignments, or I am finding it very easy and I am done with everything. I need more, right? So I'll get some more assignments updated for you all. Okay, so you can do it according, those people who have already done, they can take it up on their own pace. Okay, ठीक है ना? खाली बैठने से कोई फायदा नहीं है। तो जिन लोग का ऐसा सिचुएशन है, प्लीज DM me on Discord. And other people, no need to worry. You are not lagging behind or you are not slow. We will be doing everything in module 1. Okay, yeah, functions are there. Okay, so where were we? Okay, now next we come to the logical OR operator. What is logical OR? Logical OR is again very simple. Okay, logical OR is if any one of the conditions, Adarsh 112, that is my Discord ID, Adarsh 112. Okay, so logical OR kya bolta hai? What does logical OR say? See guys, there will be two conditions. Okay, let's say there are two conditions. If any one of the two conditions are true, if any one of the two conditions are true, the output will be true. If any one of the conditions become true, output will be true. If both the conditions are false, then only the output will be false. Okay, this is my logical OR. Okay, ये बोलता है boss, even if one of the condition is true, na, that is fine. Okay, but if both the conditions are false, then the logical OR output will be false. And what will be logical NOT? Logical NOT will be very simple. Not of true will be false, not of false will be true. So let's say I ask you this, 8 is equal to 9. Not. What will be the output of this, guys? Can anybody tell me? 8 equal to 9, not of this. What will be the output? True. Correct. Because see, this is false and not of false will be true. Okay. And let's say I club it with this or. I write something here. Can you tell me what will be the final output? True. Okay. Why didn't any one of you question me here? Hey, others, you haven't drawn anything or written anything inside that cloud. How can we say that the final expression will be true only? How can I say that the final expression will be true only? Here I come to a very important, concept. Yup. So see, guys, not operator nahi samajh mein aaya. See, what is the logical NOT doing? Logical NOT is basically, reversing the, let's say Boolean output. Okay. So see, 8 is equal to 9. Is 8 equal to 9? Definitely not. So 8 equal to 9 will be false. Do you all agree? Let's start with simple. 8 equal to 9 is false. Okay. Now when I put a NOT in front of this, so NOT of false will be true. I am noting that. I am just, think of it like I'm reversing the condition. So NOT of false will be true. So, inverter gate. Correct. So this entire expression is true. Do you all agree? Now, I have put a logical OR here and I have put a cloud here. Okay. What will be the outcome of this entire expression? True only, na? Because I told you just now, if any one of the conditions of logical OR is true, then irrespective of the other condition, the output will be true only. And here I come to a very important idea of short circuiting. What does this mean? Let's say I am on a logical OR, okay, and I see that the first expression is evaluated to be true. Then do you think I need to go and evaluate the second expression? The answer is no. If in a logical OR, the first part is true, sorry, then you don't even need to worry what is there in the second part. Okay. Guys, I think the DM has started. Okay. So my compiler is very intelligent. It will say, boss, the first one is true and there is a logical OR. So I don't even need to go and check what is there in the second part, and I can conclude that the entire expression will evaluate to true. This is known as short circuiting. Short circuit. मैंने अपना काम short कर दिया. Short circuiting. Right. Can you tell me one other example of short circuiting? This is short circuiting. Any one other example? And okay. And when will short circuiting take place for and? If I see that the first expression is false, then I don't even need to go and check what is the second condition. If it is true or false, doesn't matter. If the first expression is evaluated to be false, then you can safely conclude that the entire expression will be false only. Okay. So this is also short circuiting. Okay. So is everyone clear about short circuiting here? This is also sometimes asked in interviews, right? Pretty simple, but I think, yeah. Okay, cool. So please repeat briefly. Okay, see what I am telling you, if you look at the basic characteristic of the logical and, okay, what does the logical and say? That boss, if the first condition is false, okay, false and true will also be false. False and false will also be false. That means if any one of the condition has become false now, irrespective of the second condition, my output will be false only. No, Akash, short circuit से program में error नहीं आएगा. Okay, so I am telling you that if you write something like this, let's say something like this, if now what I am wanting to tell, let's say if my age is 5, okay, I first of all check this condition is evaluated to be false, so it will no longer check this condition. ये यहाँ पे check करेगा ही नहीं. No, we don't have to do short circuit, it is internally done. So you see now, when you are giving an input of age as 5 and you write a statement like this now, you will see that this isn't checked, this condition isn't checked, because you check if age is greater than 18, is 5 greater than 18? No. So the first condition is evaluated to be false. So the moment the first condition is false, the entire expression of logical and will be false only. So I will just, tell that boss, this entire expression will be false, so don't go inside the if block. Okay. No, this is and. Okay. Is it making sense, guys? And similarly, if I'm telling you like this, if 2 equal to 2 or 8 equal to 9, can you tell me, will I enter or not? Will I enter or not? Will I enter or not? Definitely I will enter, right? Any one of the condition is true, it's fine for me, right? Even if you had an 8 equal to 9 here, and you had a 2 equal to 2 here, then this is not a short circuiting. Okay, because the first condition is false, so you will have to go and check the second condition. Okay, but like when I reverse the case, that was a short circuiting condition. Okay, cool. So we are done with this. Now I think we can go to the portal to solve a couple of questions, but before that, let me come to the agenda. I think my stomach also. Relational done, logical done, conditionals with an example I have taken. Operator. Achha, chalo, briefly, I'll just talk about 5-7 minutes, right? And then I think I'll go to the portal and I can take one question from there, maybe, if you have any confusions. Okay. Please take one example for better and proper understanding. हाँ मैं बताता हूँ. Okay. Yeah, thanks Ramanuj. Yeah, I think after the class I'll take. Okay. What is the difference between double and single and? Okay, good question. So double and is a logical and single and is a bitwise and. Okay. So अभी हम लोग नहीं पढ़ेंगे bitwise manipulation. Bit manipulation you will study in I think module 3. Okay. So wait till then. Okay. Acha. Now, very briefly, I would just want to touch upon this to make sure everyone is clear. Operator precedence or associativity. Nothing related to what we have studied so far, but just wanted to cover up 5 minutes on this, right? We can learn operator first. I have told you all operators at this point of time what you want to understand. Module 1 gym. Okay. See, gym is basically if you can do some self-exploration also, because definitely bitwise manipulation is not there in module 1. So yeah, I will recommend कि जो question लग रहा है कि simple है or which you are able to do or you are able to at least figure it out that yes, this can be done with the concepts that we are studying in module 1, attempt them, right? Don't attempt, let's say, a graph question or a DP question or a stack question at this point of time, I would say. Okay. Okay. So operator precedence / associativity. Not operator is pretty simple. It just, inverts the condition. So not of true will become false, not of true, So let's say I'm writing something like this. If A equal to, okay, tell me one thing. I think you will understand. If X equal to 5 and Y equal to, let's say 5. Okay. I'm talking about the 2D coordinate plane. Okay. X coordinate and Y coordinate. Okay. If X equal to 5 and Y equal to 5, print yo. So can you tell me for what particular point yo will be printed? For what particular point yo will be printed? For what particular point no will be printed? Can I say only this point 5,5? For only this point. For no other point yo will be printed. Now I do a very simple thing. Now can you tell me for what points yo will be printed? It's not positive or something like this. Can you tell me for what points yo will be printed? If I'm giving inputs for X and Y. Can I say for all points except for 5, 5? Can I tell you entire plane except for this 5, 5? Because see na guys, when X and Y are 5, then this internal thing evaluates to true. Not of true will become false and you will not print. Take any other point. Okay, let's take 5, 2. This condition will become false. Not of false will become true and you will print yo. So is this making sense, guys? This is printing yo for all points other than 5, 5. Okay, cool. Then double brackets I have put to make you guys understand. Boss, first evaluate this. First evaluate this entire part and then do a not. Okay. Okay, guys. I think I'll try to, repeat. Okay. See, what I'm trying to say is, if you have a statement like this, if not of X equal to 5 and Y equal to 5. Okay. I have written something like this. Okay. And let's say you have print yo. Okay. So guys, first of all, see, whenever you have brackets and all these expressions now, first of all, look at this inner bracket, X equal to 5 and Y equal to 5. At the point 5, 5, at the point 5, 5, this will be true. Do you agree? This expression will be true at 5, 5. And when this is true, not of true will become false and you will not enter inside the if block. Okay? So nahi karega. But take any other point. Take any other point apart from 5, 5. Take any other point apart from 5, 5. Let's take 5, 4. X is 5, true. Y is 4, false. So this entire condition will evaluate to be false. Do you agree? See, this condition will be true only for 5, 5. For all other points, this condition will evaluate to be false. And not of false will be true. So for all points other than 5, 5, not of false will be true. You enter inside the if block and you print yo. Is this making sense? Okay, cool. Let's just quickly move on. I think I want to cover today, not lag behind. Okay, so like one last thing for theoretical completeness. Think you don't need it in too much details, to be very honest. I'm just touch basing upon this so that you are aware. Just give me 1 minute. I'll drink some water. Yeah. Okay. So what is precedence, right? What is precedence? Okay. Now, any other queries, any other concerns you have, I think Igbar, you can try using the compiler, write code yourself, see the output, try to explain. Okay. And then I think, it can be better. Okay. Cool. So a little bit about, yeah, sorry, Karthik, I think, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So let's write clearly. Okay, precedence or associativity. I just wanted to spend maybe 5 minutes on this topic. Okay, not that important in our journey, but good to know. Okay, So what is precedence, right? So in maths, when you have, evaluated expressions, right? In maths, we have all evaluated expressions, right? What is the answer to this? In maths, what is the answer to this? Is it 35 or is it 23? Okay, all of you are saying 23. Nobody is saying 35. And I think it's good nobody is saying 35, right? So how are you able to tell me this? You somewhere had a, setup inside you saying mod mass. First, give preference to brackets, then give preference to off, then division, then multiplication, then addition, then subtraction, right? So this basically helped you to evaluate this expression. Similarly, similarly, in coding also, you have certain precedence of operators. What does precedent mean? Priority. Which operator is considered to be more or given more priority over some other operator? So in BODMAS, division had more priority than addition, right? Division and multiplication had more priority than addition and subtraction. And that is why, first of all, you evaluated this multiplication and then only you went to this addition. So similar to BODMAS, in coding also we follow this same thing, right? The highest preference is to the brackets. Okay. There is no O here in coding, right? So in Python, we had E. In Python, we had E. And E was basically exponentiation. But I think we can skip at this point of time. Like my teacher had taught me like this, BEDMAS. Okay. But like the highest preference is given to brackets, right? Then division and multiplication are at the same precedence level. They are at the same precedence level. Addition and subtraction are also at the same precedence level. Okay. But definitely division and multiplication are of a greater precedence than addition and subtraction. Okay. So if I want to talk of precedence, let's put it like this if I can. Can I say this? Can I say this? Can I say this? Brackets have the highest precedence. Division and multiplication, they have the same precedence, right? How will I know what to do first? I will tell you. Okay. And addition and subtraction also have the same precedence, but definitely their precedence is less than division and multiplication. Okay. Now you will tell, okay. Now you will tell, okay, 5 into 8, let's say divided by 2. Okay. Now you will tell me, hey, Adarsh, you told, just give me 1 second. Okay. Now let's say you have been, you have stuck between division and multiplication. Okay. I told you guys that most division and multiplication have the same precedence. In what order do you evaluate them? That is where we come to the idea of associativity. So all these are left associated, left to right. Okay. So you evaluate them as you get from left to right. So first of all, from the left, you got this multiplication, evaluate this. 5 into 8 is 40. Then you had this division, evaluate it, 20 into 4, 80. Okay. So how will you evaluate division and multiplication? From left to right. How will you evaluate addition and subtraction? From left to right. Okay. And brackets, we all know, right? The innermost bracket is given the most priority. Then you come layer by layer. Let's say I'd give you something like this, 5 plus 8. Then I give you 4 into this. I think you all know how it will be evaluated, right? First of all, 5 plus 8 is evaluated. Then 4 into that will be evaluated. Okay. So this is about precedence and associativity. And you don't need more than this here. Okay. I think it's just, fundamental to know the idea. Okay. And yeah, I'll give you some reading articles also so you can read them up and explore more. But I think we don't need to explain last part, right? So right to left precedence is also there. Definitely it is there, right? It is there for certain operators. Okay. So it's there for, I think, ternary operators have, and they have, some operators have very less operators, but they have right to left associativity also. Okay. Yeah, assignment is there from right to left, correct. Okay. Cool. So is everyone clear with precedence and associativity? Okay. Cool. Let's move ahead. Okay, so I think the theoretical content for today's class is done from my end. Okay, now let's just go to the portal and I can solve a couple of questions. See guys, these are all theoretical details. Okay, so just try to understand them once, read a couple of articles. But as long as you are able to implement problems, you are able to convert your logic into code, I think you don't need this theory in detail. Okay. Okay. Now, you have your flexibility. I can take up, votes from here. Yeah, we are done with typecasting. We don't need more typecasting. Okay. So now, guys, I don't know how many of you have done. I think most of you would have done. But what I want you guys to understand is now this entire, hello world and conditionals taking input and function. These two, these two you can do. So there are 10 questions now available to you. Make sure all of you do these 10 questions and are clear with all these questions. And you should be able to do it yourself. Okay. You should be able to do it yourself. खुद से करने का try करना. Okay. So any particular question that you want me to take here? Big light. Okay. Has big light been discussed in the doubt session? Has big light been discussed? No. Okay. चलो, do make my job a little bit simple. Point नहीं मिल रहा है. ठीक है. Okay. I think let's start with a couple of simple questions. Okay. Number of days आते हैं. ठीक है. It's pretty simple, right? Okay, leave this. I think somebody has already coded up here. Okay. So yeah, एक बार I'll try to discuss a couple of questions. Okay. So let's do one simple question and then maybe is peak element a part of this assignment? I am not sure. I don't see peak element here. Okay. Guys, let's focus on the module assignment that we are doing. ठीक है. आप लोग try करो एक बार खुद से. When we come to loops assignment, when they are discussed in the doubt session, definitely you will get clarity, right? Okay. So let's read this question. And now I think all of you should be able to do this question. Let's read this question. Given the month number, okay, you have to tell how many days are present in that particular, year. Okay. Let's read the question. Given the number of the month, your task is to calculate the number of days present in the particular month. Okay. So since this is a functional problem, you don't have to worry about the input. It's all wrong here. You have to worry about the inputs, to be very honest, right? So expect that the month number will be given as an input to you. You have to take the month input from the user, and then you have to tell how many days are present in that particular month. Okay. Is the input output clear? The input is 1. That means the month is January. And how many days does January have? 31 days. Okay. Tomorrow I'll let you know. Okay. Okay. So let's say that we have made our scanner and we have taken the month as input. We have taken the month as input. Now tell me, guys. Now tell me. See, guys, I don't know how do you guys remember the number of days. I generally look at my fist. Okay. So January, like the raised up portion, the knuckles, right? They are 31 days, if I remember correctly, right? So January, March, okay, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, and 12, right? Do you all agree with me? Month number 1, month number 3, month number 5, month number 7, month number 8, month number 10, month number 12. Okay. All these months have 31 days. Okay. So if you have any one of these months, okay, any one of these months, right, then definitely I am talking about 31 days. So let me write the very basic code. Ki boss, if month is equal to 1, if my month is 1, or acha, why am I putting an or logical or and not a logical and? Can anybody tell me why a logical or and not a logical and? Boss, you cannot have month 1, 3, 5, 7 at the same point of time, right? I am telling if the month is 1 or 3 or 5 or 7 or 8 or 10 or 12, any one of these months will have 31 days. Okay. So if m equal to 1 or m equal to 3 or m equal to 5 or do you agree? Do you agree? 31, print 31, right? Now, now, else if I will write else if. Okay. Now, when will I even come to check this else if part? When will I even come to check this else if part? When these months are not there. Do you agree? When will I even come to line number 13? When I am not looking at a 31-day month. Do you agree? When I am not looking at a 31-day month, then I am coming at the else if. So I will check. Is m equal to 2? I am making my job a little simple here. Okay. So if m equal to 2, how many days? How many days, guys? 28 days? February? System. Okay. So 28 days. Else. Now, guys, tell me. Else if, okay. Now you just can write a else, right? Ki, boss, if my month is not of 31 days, not of 28 days, then what is the last case? You will come inside this else block when you are looking at a 30-day month. So I will just print. Okay. Is this making sense? They said consider non-leap year. I never considered a leap year. The basic logic that we have, क्या होगा भाई? Non-leap year मतलब what happens in a leap year? February gets a 29 day, right? Non-leap year means February has 28. That's it. Nothing more than that, right? See, guys, one thing is for sure, when you spend more time with the problem, right? When you try to solve the problem on your own, you will fail. I definitely, you will not be able to do it at once, right? You might get confusions. You might write long code that works, but might not be, as optimized and as good looking as my code, right? But what I will suggest to you, it's a continual process of improvement, right? You just have to keep trying, spend time with your code every day, sit on the problem, try to think, try to convert your thoughts into code. Don't look at the solution so easily, right? And then you will automatically see that with time your things will get improved. If I sit down and solve all the problems with you, now you will say, others, all these problems are so easy. You just do it once and we will never forget. But the thing is, I don't want to discuss it all at once, right? I first want you guys to struggle with them. Otherwise, you won't get a feeling of that struggle and that thing I am not able to do. Okay. Explain line number 10. Line number 10 is nothing. I am checking. If my month is 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, or 12. Okay. If I have any one of these months, then I can print 31. Okay. Okay. And if there are no months, okay, if I am not looking at a month with 31 days, then I come to the else if part. I check if my month number is 2. I print 28. Else I print 30. How much maths is necessary? I would say basic maths. Basic maths, not that much maths. अच्छा, it should be solved using functions. अच्छा, ठीक है भाई, एक चीज बताओ मेरे को. What is the name of this module? What is the name of this module? I think the question wordings is wrong. See, right on conditional. Okay, conditional. See, what is this? Doubts, conditional, taking inputs and functions. Okay. But we have not studied functions now. Forget functions at this point of time. When the time comes, I will make you guys understand functions also. Okay. Is this question clear? Number of days? Okay. Okay, guys. So, big light. Okay, big light. I know that will take a little bit. Okay. So in big light, now try to think of in relative velocity, or relative the gap filling way. Okay, that will help you understand it. It's clear, but do we get marks for it? I am not. Peak element. Where is peak element? Okay, peak element I'll not be doing at this point. Okay. Okay, guys. So your homework, everyone, your homework will be all these questions which are in this assignment, right? Leap year, input output in Java, number of days, big light, C to F, F to C, and which angle triangle. You should be doing all these. Okay, these everyone should be able to do all these questions clearly. Okay, no doubts here that I want. Okay, homework ho gaya, sir. That's very great. You can move on with loops if you understand. I will start with loops on Monday or tomorrow if we have a class. Okay. Okay. There will be class tomorrow. I'll let you know. Okay. So guys, do you mind if I take other questions the next day? I think I have like tried to sit up for some time, and I think I'll just maybe require a break at this point. Okay. So I think I'll leave you guys for 15 minutes till your doubt class is there, right? So officially, I think conditionals, अगर कोई problem हो तो मेरे को Discord पे पूछ लेना, right? I'll try to answer all your doubts there, and I'll convey of tomorrow's class, right? If we don't have, take the weekend off, try to get over with all these assignments, okay? And try to revise all the concepts that we have done till now, okay? When we meet on Monday, if there is a public demand for, you know, a big light, we will solve big light, and then we will try to look at, you know, loops. We will start off with loops. Okay. I'll let you know for tomorrow. I wanted to take the class today so that everyone is clear with conditionals and you have some assignments to solve over the weekend, right? Otherwise, I would have skipped today as well. But yeah, I think now you have some content on assignments to solve. So try to do them. Okay. I'll convey for tomorrow's class. Tomorrow, I will tell you. If we have tomorrow, good enough, no problem. If we don't have, on Monday, we will come back and we'll start with loops and big light if you want. Okay. Okay, guys. I think that should be it. That should be it for today. So, how is the class pace going on? Is everyone you know, getting clear with whatever we are covering? Okay. Cool, guys. So any feedback that you have for the class perspective, please feel free to actually tell me. Okay. And you know, whatever feedbacks you have, I will be happy to implement it in my teaching style or whatever. But yeah, just make sure that you are conveying the feedbacks properly, right? ऐसा मत रखना कि यार तुमको अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है and तुम बोल नहीं रहे हो. नहीं अच्छा लग रहा है, come to me, tell what is not going wrong. I can help you with that. Okay, I can maybe, you know, customize something for you, give you a separate guidance. Okay. Or, you know, kind of customize or tailor fit something for you, right? So just make sure that, you know, you are just sharing the feedbacks with me, and we'll make sure that everything is done properly. Okay. Chalo guys, cool. I think let's meet tomorrow or on Monday and we'll see. Chalo guys, bye bye.